So today what we're going to talk about is the role that innovation plays in digital transformation. If you look at the market today and you look at companies that have embraced digital transformation and embedded innovation into their culture and into the way they do business, you see that those companies are far more responsive to client needs. So how does an organization embrace innovation? Well, I think there's two steps. You need to get two things right. The first one is to create a culture where failure is okay. People need to be prepared to experiment, and it needs to be okay to fail as long as you can learn from it. If you get that right, then you'll start seeing innovation just happen in the organization. What you then need to do is apply a client lens, really look at what you're doing from a client perspective, and that'll help you to focus on the right areas with that innovation. It'll help you to guide the organization to innovate in the right areas. Our world is so competitive that to go out there and do something where there's no tangible value articulated up front, it's a big risk for a business. And so the mindset is just do what you know is going to work and do it as efficiently as possible. But the reality is we need to step out of our comfort zones and we need to embrace new ways of doing things. And we're going to get some of those wrong, but we have to go through the wrong suggestions to get to the right ones. And that's something that we as leaders in our organizations really need to try and unlock. What I found really interesting was how many respondents, when talking about digital transformation, were purely looking at digital transformation from a product and services lens, when the reality is that digital transformation transcends the entire business spectrum. There's no area of the business that isn't impacted by digital transformation. And I mean, products and services are obviously very important, but you can't transform a business just by changing the product. And that for me was quite an interesting insight. For me, there's one key theme which really sort of stood out, and that's the importance of the client lens. If we look at what we're doing from a client perspective, we can prioritize the activities that will unlock value quickest for them, which will engender loyalty and help us to retain those clients and grow our businesses through them. The world we live in at the moment, specifically with all of the digital channels available to us, it creates really fast feedback loops when we're getting things right or wrong. And those feedback loops are generally quite public. And so what happens is that you succeed or fail in the public eye with your initiatives. And if you don't address your failures correctly and effectively, everybody knows about it. So the risk of not being client-centric in the current world is far higher. But there's also a positive side, and that's that if you are client-centric, if you're really client-centric, the world will see, and it's a great way for you to market your business by showing the world how you treat clients who have challenges. So the role digital plays in innovation is specifically around how quickly we can get feedback loops. So what we need to do as organizations is build in the feedback loops into the way we design our products. We need to create mechanisms for soliciting client feedback immediately and in real time, and then acting on that feedback, so that the way we respond to challenges and problems is transparent to our clients, but also is fast enough to satisfy their requirements. I'd encourage you to download the entire report and go through it. You'll find some really interesting insights that you can use in your business. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We'd love to chat to you and join you on this transformational journey.